Welcome to this video series. What you will see in this series of counseling session videos are not perfectly crafted counselor responses with ideal counselees. This is because actual counseling sessions are messy, and we wanted you to see reality, not the idealized version of it that is often portrayed when counselor and counselee responses are carefully orchestrated. These videos are not scripted, with one exception, the one where I am counseling Betsy. Volunteer counselees were asked to present struggles that were real to them personally, but counselors had no idea what the counselee was going to bring into the session. The only aspect that was discussed prior to the cameras rolling was how far along in the counseling process this particular session was going to fall. As a result, our interventions are not always smooth. There are ums and kind ofs, as well as repeated words and stops and starts. We don't always intervene perfectly, but that isn't our goal. We hope that if you see that the authors of your textbook also make errors, that you will be able to extend grace to yourselves too. What we are able to do well is to evaluate our own performance, intervention by intervention, according to the criteria that are outlined in Skills for Effective Counseling. And we want you to be able to do the same, both in critiquing others as well as yourselves. So we have provided transcripts with evaluations of the counselor interventions and explanations of why we evaluated the way we did, so that you can learn how to do so. There are two versions of each video, one with captions which identify the skill used with a brief rating and evaluation, and the other with no captions, which can be used as a test to see if you can identify the skill used and rate it appropriately. Your instructor will give you some guidance in how they want you to use them. Most of the counseling is done by me, Heather, and Betsy with various counselees. We try to offer some diversity in terms of topics and counselee demographics. We also wanted to show you that the same counselor can use these foundational skills somewhat differently, depending on the particular counselee, as well as the phase of counseling. We demonstrate that sometimes you have to interrupt a counselee or you might never get a word in edgewise. You'll notice that the pacing of some sessions is different than others. For example, some counselees use a lot of words to describe their experience, which requires succinct interventions that capture the essence of what is being expressed without getting bogged down in the details. This takes a lot of practice, though. So we suggest that when you start out, you interrupt more often and use as your model the videos in which the counselor most often intervenes after only a sentence or two from the counselee. Our own students have been asking for these kinds of videos for many years now, so we decided to listen to them and provide some examples using the microskills approach rather than trying to identify examples from other available counseling videos. We trust that they will be a valuable aid to your learning process. We want to thank our volunteers and Bob, our videographer, and IVP, InterVarsity Press, for their help in making these videos.